What is up, guys? It is Sam the Raid Man. Welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. For the sake of the video, let's go ahead and eat one sacred shard. You never know. I always like to record these. Let's go. It's a gold. All right. We're just going to focus on the fact that it's a gold. We're not going to look at the quality of the champion, but Merry Christmas, I guess. It is the Christmas spirit. So today we're going to be doing the wheel of, or the challenge wheel, the wheel of challenges. Guys, I have amazing news for you. If you click the link in the description of this video below, you can start a new Raid account with Tholin Foulbeard, one of the best damage dealing legendaries in the game. You can also get 4 amazing epics as you level up through the game. Step-by-step instructions for what you need to do. Log out of Play and Play on your PC or your laptop. Click the link in the description, register with a brand new email, launch Raid, complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox, you will collect your free Tholin Foulbeard, as well as when you level up to level 10, you will get Venomage. Level 20, you will get Lightsworn. Level 30, you will get Uugo. Level 40, you will get Tagoar. Also, right now, we have the 7-day login reward to get the amazing Xenomorph champion, who's a great poisoning legendary. Also, don't forget to pair that with a new player promo code to get another free legendary. This is the best start to a Raid account, so make sure to click the link in the description below. This is been a little while since we've done one of these videos, so let me recap what we're going to do. Basically, make sure I'm not in the way. There is a lot of different categories and requirements that our champions will fit into. Let's say we land on Spirit champions. I'm going to build a Ultra Nightmare clan boss team based entirely off of champions that meet that parameter. So I'll build 5 Spirit champions for the Demon Lord and do it that way. We've done 2 so far. We've done Poisoners and we've done Reviving champions. So those champions have Revives in their kit, champions who have Poisoners in their kit. You guys love the poisoning video. There's a lot of options. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any ways to add or ideas of ways that we can pick champions in the future. That being said, let's go ahead and spin the wheel, see what our team is going to be today. We'll do a little bit of theorizing and then we will, okay. Fusion champions. Okay, so I'm going to fusion or fragment summon, obviously. But fusion champions, whether or not I got them as a fusion, if they were a fusion or a fragment summon, then we can use them. So I thought since we pulled a Christmas-themed Pixneal, that we're wearing a Christmas hat. In the spirit of Christmas, it is December 7th, so we are sneaking up on the Christmas season. So I was looking at the Hell Hades website for the Raid Shadow Legends Champions fusions, and it's got traditional, fragment, and hybrid fusions. So like half fragment, half champion fusions. Starting at Cross, going all the way back to Sir Nicholas. So if I have any of these champions, and to be honest, there's a ton of options, but it is interesting. First thing I noticed was Donatello, Titus, Mad Hatter, a little bit further back, Wixwell. So I was like, we've basically got a Wixwell team there. I will say in challenges like this, I think it would be a little bit cheap to do duplicates. Like I could do double Wixwell, double Hatter, and just have a nasty team. Have those champions. It would be gross, but I don't think that's as fun. I was trying to look for teams outside of that. We can definitely make an unkillable team work, but it feels like the purpose of this challenge is to use the parameters and get the highest scoring team that you can. So I think when we can do a Wixwell team, we will. And then another thing I noticed is there's not many good decreased defense champions. A lot of champions that bring in weaken, but the ones that bring in decreased defense aren't particularly great for clan boss, especially. Obviously, the biggest lack for me, as you guys know, it's kind of a sore subject. I don't want to talk about it, but I don't have Titus, so he is not in the team. So the team that we did come up with, I think, is pretty creative, and I really, really love this team. I made a video about a similar idea recently, but it's using Donatello. So what it's going to be is it's going to be a Wixwell. He's built for damage. We'll show the stats in a minute. Brogni also built for damage, but he brings in block debuffs, which makes things a lot easier. Hatter as our buff extender, and then Donatello to boost everyone's skill cooldown, and then actually Newt as our damage healer. I thought about bringing in Gretel because she brings in decreased defense. Her damage is just not great. Even with the 5-star soul and masteries, her damage just isn't great. So first thing we're gonna do is make sure everyone's got a relic on. I did have to make sure, I had to redo some masteries, but I'll talk about those as the run starts. So Ultra Nightmare, we're on Force Affinity today. So go down and find our team. All right, so this is a team we're using Mad Hatter as the accuracy ore to give everyone accuracy, give everyone's accuracy up. My goodness. Okay, so the way this team works is Wixwell goes first. He's gonna place, he's 245, full crit rate, 315 crit damage, 6,900 defense. He's going to place a shield on everyone and then not use this ability again, prioritizing the shield growth and buff extension. Underpriest Brogni is 1 speed slower. He will go next. He's going to place block debuffs, increase attack and shield, and then not go use that ability again. His priority is to attack and grow the shield. He is bad affinity, as is Donatello, so keep that in mind. Brogni's damage will be a little bit lower than it should be. Same thing with Donatello. After that, I believe it is Mad Hatter next. Nope. Yes, Mad Hatter next. He's going to prioritize the buff extension and then the hex and weaken and ally attack. The champion he's going to bring in is going to be Newt. Newt's 234, going to prioritize the enemy max HP / lowering the clan boss's defense. After he hits 10 times or uses his ability 3-ish times, 3 or 4 times, it'll lower the Clan Boss's defense by 30%, meaning everyone will hit harder, War Master will hit harder, Giant Slayer will hit harder, so on and so forth. And then the second ability is decrease attack, which helps. Weaken, which obviously helps if Hatter doesn't place it, and then counterattack on himself, which will be great. And then Donatello is the slowest. He's going to open up with the A1, never use the A3, and then prioritize the A2. So we'll kind of see how this works. We'll manual the first bit, even though it is fully auto. It's going to be a long run, so we'll definitely speed it up once we get there. But the team, like, synergy is amazing. So we're going to place, it doesn't really matter who you place it on. We'll place it on Donatello since he's bad affinity for the clan boss. Block debuffs on everybody. So you can see right now we have 3 shields. Shield, Magma Shield, and other shield. The Magma Shield is not necessary, but it definitely helps. Everyone's going to use their main abilities except for Donatello, so we're going to increase the buff duration. We're going to do our enemy max HP nuke. 750k is not bad. A1 with Donatello, that's big. Clan boss goes. Shouldn't hit us too hard. Shield growth, so big abilities. Shield growth, big abilities. This one's fine. A2. A2, that's fine. Now we're going to lower all of our skill cooldowns and put increased speed on everybody. Shield growth and buff extension. Shield growth. Shield's already massive. I'll talk about the speed tune itself in a second. We have counterattack on wixwell and counterattack on Newt, which is crazy. Buff extension. So now we're increasing increased speed as well. Enemy max HP, so big ability, big ability. Back to A1s. Everyone will use their abilities, use their main abilities, then Donatello resets, they get to do them again. So it's doubling up the amount that they would get to do it. The cool about this team is you don't want any kind of merciless or reflex or refresh accessories. No chance to reduce skill cooldowns. Actually, don't want cycle of magic. That's why I had to redo Wixwell's masteries. Because this is a speed-tuned team. Now, what's cool about this speed tune is it doesn't really matter the speeds themselves as much as their relevance to each other. I'll explain what I mean by that. Everyone here is between 245 and about 220. So they're pretty close in speed. No one's going to lap or take many more turns than anyone else. Everyone's relatively the same speed. But who goes first does matter in terms of placing buffs in the turn order in the AI setup. I think the way that I've said that makes the most sense. So Wixwell, Rogni, buff extender, damage dealer, or damage dealer, Donatello. Donatello has to be last. Pretty much Wixwell has to be first. You can make this team with 170 to 150 ranges, or you can make it 300 to 280 ranges. You can make it very, very different speeds. It's all about how fast your team will go versus the clan boss. You just can't have someone at 300 and someone at 150 because then their buffs will run out. And then in terms of the way that you build against the clan boss, I use block debuffs. You don't have to use block debuffs, but I just don't want to risk someone like Donatello getting stunned and throwing the speed tune off. Donatello does have to be booked for this to work. I think everyone else, Wixwell has to have at least 1 book. I can't remember exactly what the math is. I think it'll work for champions with 4 turn cooldowns, but not 5 turn cooldowns, basically, for their big abilities. So if someone had enemy max HP on a 6 turn cooldown, 5 turn cooldown, I don't think that would work in terms of like him doubling it up and doing it back-to-back abilities. Besides that, other things, 2 bad affinities, that's going to hurt. Obviously, the shield hits its cap probably by now. If not by now, then very soon with double shield growth and then really quadruple shield growth because we're doubling Brogni and Wixwell's growth of the shield. So it just gets massive so fast, and we're pretty fast. Especially with increased speed, that really lowers the speed requirements of this team versus a regular Wixwell team. Newt is not the craziest damage dealer. Again, we don't have any great damage dealers. Hatter doesn't bring a lot of damage. He's in our shield set. Donatello's fine for damage. Brogni's fine for damage. Wixwell's fine for damage. Newt is good, right? He's hitting for over 1 million there, or about 1 million, which is awesome. And he's doing that twice per every 4 skills that he uses. But no decreased defense hurts everybody. And we could hypothetically use a lot more ally attack. I did kind of think about using Mikage in here because she is a fusion, a permanent fusion, but that felt a little shady. Let me know in the comments if you guys would have been fine with Mikage being in the team. Anyways, it's a super long fight. It should go the full turns. If it doesn't, then I have failed as a clan boss creator. So fingers crossed, knock on wood, it'll go the full duration. So I'm gonna pop off. I'm actually gonna do probably play another game while this is loading, but I will come back and we'll take a look at the damage. I also built a fancy crazy spreadsheet comparing all of the episodes of the series. There have been a few more than I realized. This is actually episode 5, and we'll come. It's a really cool sheet, so you can stay around to the end and see that. But I'll catch up in a second. Okay, so coming in turn count 1400. Obviously, we are going to reach the limit. The shield is crushing it. All 3 of the shields are crushing it for everybody. We just hit 400 million damage. So obviously, this is going to be result number 1, right? The winner of the series so far with all 5 episodes because we got a Wixwell team. Not only that, we got a good Wixwell team. Donatello really makes this team awesome. I'm very excited to see how much damage Newt did. I think he's going to do 200 and something damage, and the other, like let's say we end at 400 right now. I think he'd have like 250 and everyone else would have like 150 combined. That's my guess. Just because I don't think anyone is doing crazy damage. Hatter should do a decent amount of damage in such a long fight because he has Brimstone. So that's a few extra million here and there. Normally I would say Brogni's pretty high, but he has bad affinity, so it's hard to say that. So I feel like it's going to be Newt, Wixwell, Hatter, Brogni, Donatello. Could be wrong, but I feel pretty confident that Newt will be at the top for sure. While this is wrapping up, I will show you the spreadsheet, or start to show you the spreadsheet. So we have episode 1, which was only Void champions, not 4 Void champions, only Void champions. And then the information that we're capturing on every single tab is the name of the champion, how much damage they did, the awakening they have, the empowerment they have, and whether or not they have masteries, because this is all relevant context. We're also going to build a separate sheet on the side showing the best damage dealers and then those relevant stats. So for example, with Void champions, at Cardio did 40 million, but he has 5-star Heaven Cast and he's +1 and he has masteries. Compared to like Stock, who only did 10 million in this team, but he only has 4-star lethal dose, no empowerment, and no masteries. So again, kind of shows some difference. Also, we have the team damage here, and then we'll rank each of the teams. So our record so far is 138 million, which we did in episode 1, which was a traditional team, but it was a very, very fast team. So this will obviously be our fusion. The fragment champions will be our biggest result yet. Challenge wheel 2025/2026 is not, we're not very far up at all from the new year. I will say, I think Brogni is unnecessary here with how fast we're going and how often Wixwell is growing the shields. I think if you're building this team, you could just bring in another damage dealer. Perhaps it also brings in block debuffs. I like it. You don't need it. Kind of just up to you guys. But I really do like having that. Makes me feel confident. And he has a good bit of damage from the reflect. I honestly think there's a good chance he maybe did more than Hatter and Wixwell. We'll see. In terms of making this team do more, better damage dealers, obviously better gear, obviously that aside, it's just making it faster, right? Like if we bump all these up to 300 turns, we're taking more turns relative to the clan boss, and the clan boss is eating up less of this 1500 turn kill limit. That being said, that's kind of a smaller percentage change, unless you boost it up very, very fast or add in like a Senna, someone who makes you go crazy fast. It's probably not going to do too much. A Mikage in here would do a ton of damage, just getting an AoE ally attack. That would be big. Plus increased crit rate or increased quick damage could be helpful. So final damage, I'll go ahead and write this in here. 430.31 million. Newt did 177, so not quite as much as I thought, and Brogni did more than I expected, 109 million. I had the order correct, I think, which was Newt, Brogni, Wixwell, Hatter, Donnie. I believe that's what I said. But Newt didn't do as much as I thought, and Brogni did more than I expected. So shout out to Brogni. Everyone else's damage is super good, so just give me 1 second. We'll plug all of this into the sheet. So plugged all of the information in. We have 430.31 million. All of the relevant masteries and things like that, blessings and empowerments and things like that for the team. So 430 obviously blows every other team out of the water. When we take a look at all of our number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 damage dealers, obviously you're gonna have repeat champions, which will show a little bit of the duality of how good they are in some teams versus others. Also, if it's a team like this, it's, Revivers, it didn't do very well. Alika might not do that much, but if we put Alika in this team instead of Newt, she's gonna do way more than 16 million damage, so a little bit of context is needed. Anyways, I put a lot of work into this. Hope you guys enjoyed as much as I do. Let me go ahead and move my fat head out of the way. I'm so silly. I do that a lot. And then you can zoom a little bit more so you guys can take a look at this. If you guys want to see the sheet, obviously I can maybe post this in my Discord or something like that. We're going to continue this series. We got lots of more options on the wheels. If you guys have any ideas, inspirations for me to add parameters for challenges onto the wheel, let me know. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more daily raid content, and I'll see you on the next one.